Okay, good afternoon, everybody. This is Dennis Wilborn. I want to welcome everybody to How to Make Money Trading Stocks and Options. This is the 30th of April, 2021. So we're through 4 months of the year so far. The market has been really wacky from my perspective. I want to welcome Steve and Anil, guys. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And glad you made it today. I'm basically going to also, we're having some fun with this, guys, and I just want to show it to you really quick. I'm keeping track of our picks, and I've got some rules that are going on, and haven't told Steve and Anil about the rules yet. But what I'm going to do, guys, is when you say, hey, I'm going to get in at a particular point or price, I'm going to track that the day we hit it, and then also I'm going to put just a 10% stop loss on our position because we want it to be able to breathe. And we're going to continue to have some fun with this, and also offer the members some really good stocks to take a look at moving forward. So as we continue on, let's go ahead and jump into today's session. What we're here to do is basically provide a clear and simple system designed to let you basically tell you what to buy, where to buy it, where to sell it, and how to let your winners run. This is every Friday at 11 a.m. So please, don't be shy. Go ahead and share this with whomever you would like, whoever could use, finding some good stocks going into the next week. So we'll do a real quick market index review, and then we'll do a stock pick for the week. Steve and Anil have provided us a couple of really good stocks, and I have one that I'm going to dust off and put out there, and we'll see how that goes. So with that, remember what we do is for trading purposes. Traders should always paper trade any new method prior to the risk of their own personal capital. One thing I'm really pleased is first 3 months of the year I had a challenge. I'll just be straight up with you. I was really challenged on what was going on. We were trading okay, but we just got into that whipsaw area towards the end of February into March. And fortunately, I made a slight tweak in the way I was approaching, how I was doing my orders. And I want to thank, and also how I was looking at the stocks. And I owe part of that to Anil, because Anil got me turned on to take a look at the accumulation distribution on the IBD stocks. I did that, started, basically hiring better growth stocks to work for me. And we've got a nice little tick up going into April. Very pleased with that. So where are we sitting? Yeah, I'm up almost 7% for the year now. Still trailing the S&P slightly, but what I have found over the years that I've been doing this is that the accumulation of continuing to add, profits every month, looking to hit somewhere between 3 to 8% profit on a monthly basis. I find that compounds so that at the end of the year, we beat the markets, we beat the indexes, which is exactly the way we want to do this. Just a second. Okay, so let's jump over to the indexes. We'll take a really quick look at it. I'll get comments from Steve and Anil. Remember, this is the last day of the month. As you go in and do your analysis over this weekend, please take a look at the monthly charts to see if the monthly charts are telling us anything about what's going on in the market. So let's go ahead and jump on today's session. I was looking at the S&P earlier in the week, and basically we had made a run up here, and it kept bumping its head, bam, 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 several times against that high right there. It finally broke out on Thursday after the Fed met on Wednesday, and broke out, but puts in a a hanging man or dragonfly doji, which turns out to be a bearish engulfing, not a bearish engulfing, but a bearish candlestick reversal pattern. And sure enough, what we're getting today, we're getting kind of a confirmation, if you will, of what's going on with that. Drawing tools up here. We're getting kind of a confirmation that the price action may be in store for a little bit more pullback. If we close below the 8, which it looks like we are currently on track for that to happen, prior to the end of the day, then that increases the probability that we're going to go down and visit close to the 20-day moving average, which is right there. Our TSI has crossed over. We spoke about this. I spoke about this during the week on the radar. The live stream I do on Instagram on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific, that we have a negative divergence going on as we made this new high. Typically, the negative divergence can be predictive that it increases the probability, I believe, that we will have a pullback. And even though we're having a negative divergence, we can find newer highs. And so what are we getting? We're getting a push down. If we take out yesterday's low, let's see how close we are to that. Yesterday's low is there at 416.44. If we take that out and close below that, that would give us a confirmation that this bearish candlestick, bearish reversal signal is valid, that hanging man / dragonfly doji. So that's what I'm looking at on the S&P. Let me get rid of my drawings there a little bit. Click it back out. What about our buddies, the Qs? The Qs also. Now, what's interesting about the Qs, and I left the Fibonacci in place. The Qs failed. It stuck its head above the Fibonacci where it had put in place on the 16th from the low to the high, stuck its nose above the Fibonacci yesterday, then failed to keep its nose above the Fibonacci. And what are we getting? We're getting a nice little, we're getting a reversal to the downside. While this is not quite a hanging man, it does show that, price action, it was kind of a confusing candlestick yesterday in that we gapped into resistance, sold off almost to the just below the 8, then rebounded. Today, we basically we opened down here, we've moved back up into the body of yesterday, and now we're selling off. We'll watch it through the rest of the day. What are the items that are, of interest to us? Is 1, TSI weekly chart turning over. Market forecast. The longer term market forecast has not rolled over yet. However, the shorter terms have. We had a negative divergence also, kind of a negative divergence going on. At least the momentum was melting out of the Qs. And before we leave this, what I want to run over to really quick, guys, is just take a look at the, hope this is it. Yeah, take a look at the, get rid of this noise here for a second. What is the monthly chart telling us right now? Not a whole lot. Matter of fact, it is basically painting where we have resistance at the high, but it's really not a negative sign on the monthly chart. So on any kind of pullback, where am I looking for a pullback? I'm looking for a pullback into past support, which in this case on the Qs would be down here probably about the 34. Right where it gapped up in this little gap up right there. So I like that. If we move down to that level, I'll look to get into a long position on the Qs, on the Nasdaq. IWM is looking a little bit weaker, and I lay that off to the time of year. Normally, this time of year, the IWM is the weaker link on the of the indexes. At the same time, though, what am I looking for happening? Now, I'm going to do a couple of things here. I'm going to, one, draw a trend line across these lows. That would be another, clue or a level of confluence if price actions work their way back down toward the 50. If they happen to coincide over here somewhere, that would be a good opportunity. And I get a reversal signal, that would give us an opportunity to get into IWM. The IWM, again, tends to be weak during, going into last part of April, May, June, July, August, September, starts strengthening up and usually outperforms the other indexes during the months of October, November, December. And really nice bearish engulfing yesterday, gapped up, bearish engulfing, fulfilling today. However, it's got a bunch of stuff to bump its butt on the way down on these levels of this dynamic levels of support that are provided by the moving averages. So Anil and Steve, that's what I'm seeing. What are you guys seeing?
I don't disagree. I don't agree completely. I don't disagree. I think we're not looking particularly strong, but we're not weak either. And in fact, from my perspective, if you look at both on the futures and on the SPY charts on a weekly basis, we're forming what IBD calls a 3 weeks tight pattern, which is often a very, very solid bullish continuation pattern. So I don't see necessarily a pullback occurring, although currently the market is sort of flat to slightly weak.
So you don't even see a minor pullback.
Well, it could happen, but I don't see it happening yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Anil.
We could also just go on from here.
Anil.
Pullback. Yeah.
I think I'm at the same place on the long-term trend. As you know, I'm looking at the triple screens, and the long-term trend still looks fairly strong.
Cool.
So whether this is a temporarily something going on, or is it for real, I think a little bit of time will tell.
Yeah. And when I say pullback, guys, I'm not talking about a 10 or 15%, correction. I'm talking about a pullback into past levels of support.
Yeah.
Again, I liked the 20. That would, but when I look back over like on the spiders, where has it found support previously? Well, down here at the 50 a couple of times. But then here of late, it's been, for almost the last, for over the last month, it has respected the 8-day all the way up. So
absolutely,
if the 8-day fails, then I look for a little bit stronger, deeper pullback, and that's cool. I like that idea. And
I don't disagree with that at all. It just hasn't started yet. We don't know which way it'll go.
Okay. Yeah, Barry will take a look. I hope to take a look at that. We'll run rapidly into, okay, which one of you guys wants to go first?
Go ahead, Anil.
Yeah, go ahead and take the stock LRCX. You can bring it up.
Okay, I am showing the LRCX. Weekly charts on the left, and a daily chart is over here on, correct, yeah, on the right.
Yeah, okay, that's better. Yeah, that stock looked very strong on my list with comp 99, accumulation distribution B minus. But yesterday evening when I saw after the close, it was going the other way, and it's continuing that way.
Okay.
So my buy point is a little above 641. So if it goes down, I'm not going to touch it. If it comes back, shows some strength, then I might pick it up around 640, 641 area.
Okay, today's high is up at 637.49. So you're going to go above this high? So just basically back above the high of today?
Yeah, back about yesterday, really.
Okay, so 641.
Yeah.
Yes. Excellent. Now, and the differences in the way because I love the way Anil's looking at this, is I also like it if it comes down here and repeats against this past level of support where it tested the breakout before. It could do that, which is right at the 34-day moving average. So I like it. One thing to remember on LCRX, folks, is that it does have weekly options, which is good. And it, if I'm not mistaken, it has already reported out. So you don't have to worry about earnings for another 3 months. And Steve.
Yes, sir.
Your stock is one of my old, longtime favorites.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I used to trade it a lot. I haven't recently because it's been in a fairly long-term downtrend.
Yeah.
But I think we're ready to perhaps turn the corner on it.
Okay.
If you look at a weekly chart,
So we're on the left.
We're in a very long-term sideways trading range, what I call a Wyckoff trading range.
Okay.
And we've tested the edge of that range, and we're halfway through the range to the upside. I think it's a pretty good place to try to acquire the stock.
Okay.
On a daily chart, I'm not in it right now, but I'm trailing a buy stop above the high of the prior day as it pulls back. And once that's done, I'll be in. So
Okay.
right now I'm looking for an entry above 236, 228.36 for today's high. So probably around 228.41 to 45. I'll
Okay.
look at it on Monday. And if
No,
it doesn't get there, I'll trail it down.
Okay, cool. Now, I hope everybody appreciates what we're doing here is we're basically going to hold both Anil, well, we're going to hold ourselves accountable, both, all three of us, Anil, Steve, and myself, to basically call out, here's where we're going to enter. And so are you guys okay with just doing once we do get entered, since we want to be looking at these for a longer term investments, utilizing a 10% stop loss? Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah, that's fine.
That's okay, I guess. Yeah. Although personally, I use tighter stops, but that's okay for this.
Personally, I do also, but I figured that would just be a simple rule that we could just throw out there and put it on these. I mean, people get around
Yes.
because I use a 4 to 5% stop loss. I know Anil's close to that. You're probably close to that also.
Probably even tighter, yeah.
Or even tighter. So that's what we got for DocuSign. I like DocuSign, as Steve said. Now, my question on DocuSign, and I'll just throw this out, is this is this kind of a formation of a kind of a cup and handle kind of pattern, you think?
Oh, I don't know. I believe in the cup and handle pattern, but personally, I have a hard time drawing them out. Sometimes I get very tight in my criteria, sometimes a little loose. Okay. I just see it as sideways action, and we've tested the downside several times without successfully breaking it. I think this stock is about ready to move to the upside.
Okay.
One thing on DocuSign, from my point of view, it has turned the corner. It has a triple screen signal on my chart on April the 13th, which is a good thing.
Okay.
Second thing I'm looking at it is the accumulation distribution is a B-. That is good.
That's excellent.
And the up-down volume ratio is 1.2. I'm looking for something better than 1.
Okay.
That is good. And the sponsorship rating in MarketSmith is A.
Yeah, it's very good.
I hope it's really turning around, because I used to own that also, and I'm looking for an opportunity to buy it again.
Yeah, and another approach on this, for everybody else online, another alternative aspect of this is you can basically just draw this little trend line in here like this.
Yeah.
And if you bust, excuse me, but if
you go through that trend, it's a buy.
You go through that trend line, get a close above it, that can give you a big green light to say, yep, let's do this. Yeah. And so, okay, here's my pick for the day, guys, or for the next week. I like it because it's coming up, going to be having earnings.
Is that me?
No, it's me.
Oh, okay.
So what am I looking? I'm looking at Mara. It is a blockchain kind of marathon is what it is. Blockchain crypto trade. I like it for an earnings run. It is getting down into earnings coming up on when? On 5/13. It is it's a volatile little puppy. And so what I'm going to be looking at doing is if I pull back down into the 34, around the 34.27 to 30, let's say 34.25 level to 34.15 to 34.25, I want to be in the stock. And then if I drop below that, or if I just, pass on through this high here at 32.35, I want to be out of the trade. I will measure that to make sure, from 34.20, if I'm in there.
You're not in it yet, are you, Dennis?
No.
Okay. You're
My
waiting
stop-
for a breakout entry, right?
No, I'm waiting for a pullback entry.
Oh, okay, a pullback. Okay.
I want to pick it up. See this? Let me show you what I'm looking at. And again, this is just a different technique.
Yeah.
There is a well-defined level of strong support right there. It tested it 4 days in a row.
Right.
And so if I get another retest into that level, I can
Yeah.
do a couple of things on this. I can basically put in a conditional order where if I drop below that, then it will buy coming back up through it. That's one of the ways I like to do it, because that way I'm not fading it per se into the level. I wanted to get to the level and then, reverse and bounce up.
Right.
But the other thing, as you said, I could do also a break above today's high or above the 34 at 38. But what I would do is let me grab my drawing here. And the reason I'm doing, I look at this way, especially on an entity like Mara, is that if I get in there, even if it pulls back into the moving averages, I'm looking at a almost 10% run all the way back up to these past highs. I'm looking at that somewhere about 30 to 40%. So, okay, that's my pick.
Sounds good. I like it, actually. From my perspective, it's showing some good momentum coming into the upside. I don't think it may pull back. It may gap and go or just go.
Yeah.
So I would do it two ways. I would have a breakout level and a pullback level, one canceling the other.
Yeah, Anil, what do you think?
I like it on, again, as I'm looking at the accumulation distribution, which is A minus, which is, I like it. Sponsorship rating is B, as in boy, and that is good. So.
Excellent.
Good.
So, okay, Barry, thank you guys. Great picks this week. I hope you guys, please, if these picks are working for you, or basically you're saying, hey, these are really good, I can take those and then utilize them. What we're aiming at is we want to provide extra value for you and also save you some time over the weekend. Because, you're taking advantage of what Steve, Anil, and myself do on a daily basis. We're reviewing stocks, looking for strong growth stocks that are having, showing some good patterns. Every one of the stocks it's not a recommendations, but just we're giving you a peek under the hood, if you will, to say this is what we're looking at trading. So guys, thank you very much. Barry, I'll run over this and I'll do this really quick because this was my second toss-up potential for today, and that's Tesla. Now, I want to wait for the day to be over because Tesla is one. We found support right where we thought we were going to find support at about the 670 level. NEO had okay earnings, but nothing to write home about. But so what's happened? Tesla has done, it was a real nice pullback. So I like it that TSI is starting to cross back up to the upside. Our weekly has not done that yet. I may have a bullish engulfing pattern going on here. And so if that's the case, if I get the bullish engulfing pattern right here, then I'll look for a pullback down in the midsection of that, or maybe even down and retest there. That's where I'd be looking at, a bounce off of that level for a trade on Tesla, look at and do an option. And I know Kin Chin over in the Fremont IBD group, they're actually doing practice covered calls with Tesla. They bought 100 shares of it, and they're basically just generating weekly income with their covered calls on Tesla. So great call. Hope that helps.
Looks good.
Yeah. So let's go ahead.
Tesla on my system has a triple screen buy signal beginning April the 6th.
All right.
And the weekly uptrend has not been broken since more than a year.
Yeah, Tesla, I think, is going to continue to be a stock to be, that has to be dealt with, and it's one of those where it may be a little bit hard to get into, but it's I think it's going to. Elon Musk just has a way of landing on his feet all the time. Hey, if you're looking for a simple way to basically find great growth stocks, you can always join me on Autopilot Trading. We do two different levels. We do a top 5 growth stocks, and we do a leverage ETF. If you want to know more about it, you get this great pre-flight checklist that I tell you exactly where I'm entering, where I'm exiting, what the plan for the individual stocks is, and then all you have to do is put in your conditional orders. And so if you want to learn how to put your trades on autopilot, you can go right there to that website and you can check it out. I know I get a lot of comments on how well that has been doing and how it is. We did some tweaks on it and how it's been working going forward. So I want to thank Anil and Steve. I appreciate the dynamic that we're bringing to the table on this. And so 2021, consistent and disciplined wealth building. That's what I'm after. And I just want to help people keep growing their egg, trade well and prosper. At 1 o'clock or at the top of the hour, we'll be back on with the final hour, which is what we do for our premium members. Yep. Thank you very much, Barry. I like that on Tesla. And let's see what else we want to do here. Well, so from our home to our ears, aloha, trade well and prosper, keep sharpening the saw. Mahalo. God bless everybody. And if you are joining us on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, like, and hit the bell. If you have any comments about how we can improve what we're doing in the How to Make Money Trading Stocks and Options, please leave your comments there on Facebook. So, and then we'll have another video jump up right there. So until next week, Anil, Steve, thank you very much. I really appreciate you guys, and we'll look forward to more good times in the future.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you.